Well, from tax filing to deferred payment contracts, this time of year, it has a number of financial aspects that farmers are focused on. We now want to get some expert guidance that could help your operation. And the only man to do that for us, Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law. Always a pleasure, Roger. Thank you for being here. And I cannot believe you're still awake, but you are. We're going to put you to work now. Spring, of course, is the time many deferred payment contracts are entered into. So what are some of the main rules that farmers really need to keep in mind for this process?
Well, good to be with you, Suzanne. There are three key points when it comes to deferred payment contracts, and that is don't have the sale income credited to your account. Make sure that the buyer doesn't set it apart for you, and make sure that the buyer doesn't allow you to access the money in the current year, even if you wanted to. If you can satisfy those three requirements, you're going to have a successful deferred payment contract and avoid the IRS from pulling that back into income in this year.
All right. And of course, we all know the individual tax return deadline today. While most farmers likely have filed by now, there are others looking for an extension. What all do we need to know here?
Yeah, many farmers are going to file by March 1 anyway because they don't pay estimated tax. But if you make one estimated tax payment, you can bump that to today. But if you still need more time to file your federal tax return in the U.S., of course, you can file an extension that gives you until October 15 to submit the return. Now, any extension only applies to filing. It does not apply to paying. You have to pay any taxes owed by today to avoid penalties and interest. And there are ways you can do this. You can use the IRS free file system to request an extension to pay online, and you just select extension as the reason for payment, or you mail Form 4868. And some people, of course, can get an automatic extension. You've had disaster areas with flooding in Tennessee recently, and so people in these declared disaster areas get an automatic extension, as well as those that are serving on combat duty.
Yeah, unfortunately, we know a lot of farms and operations that have had that happen over this last few months, for sure. Another big topic for all of agriculture, we're talking tariffs. Your outlook on the situation as far as tax policy is concerned, what do you see here?
Well, there's a tie-in here, and briefly, if you got to look at tariffs in the long term. If the U.S. can achieve parity on tariff rates, that would be good for the U.S. farmer and rancher. Now, there's going to be a short-term hit as the negotiations go on, and the markets try to figure out. Markets don't like uncertainty, so they're going to try to struggle while they attempt to figure out what's going on. But once the negotiation is completed, and they've got about 130 countries at the table right now, that's going to be a good thing. Now, another point is that USMCA compliant imports are exempt from what's going on with tariffs. And Trump, by executive order, has reduced the existing tariffs on potash from 25% to 10%. Now, the big issue is the trade deficit with China. And China's the holdout here. And they're using that foreign exchange to buy farmland here in the United States and build up their military at a fantastic rate. It was back in 2003 that Warren Buffett said that the drain in foreign exchange with China and what they're doing with it is not sustainable. That was 22 years ago he was saying that. Trump was trying to correct that problem. So if we can get to the end of the line here, that'll be good. Now, with tax policy, this is a huge year for tax policy. Along with downsizing government through DOGE and tariffs and tax policy, it all fits hand in glove together. Tariffs can be even more powerful than now if the size of government is decreased. And now that we have a framework as of last week for making the TCJA, the tax cuts in 2017, permanent, that's a big deal for agriculture. There's a lot of stuff in there concerning depreciation and concerning qualified business deduction and a lower corporate rate for domestic produced goods, such as what's produced by a farm or ranch. That would be a big deal. If all of this can be accomplished, then I think the future looks pretty bright.
That sounds like a lot more streamlined, a lot more efficient, maybe some transparency as well. And of course, that's something we're all looking for. Roger, always a pleasure. Good luck with the rest of the week. We hope you find some rest soon.
Thank you.
Not a easy time for a lot of you guys, I know. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law.